April 2019, Las Vegas trip, part 4, Elizabeth. The next morning, I woke up at 6 and saw Bluey waking up as well, and after breakfast and some playing time with him, 4 hours had already passed, accompanied by Kathy texting me, "Would you like to eat lunch together?" I agreed and said I would bring Bluey. Although he couldn't eat our food for the most part, I brought some millet sprinkled on pellets and a container of water. As my parents discussed what restaurants we would eat for dinner, I again logged about my trip on Instagram. This time, however, I talked about how good Bluey had been. Afterwards, while he talked, I responded to his questions and statements, treating him like a human. "Hungry, bird, seeds, treats, good Bluey," he stated. It was meant to be saved for lunch, but budgies had fast metabolism, so they couldn't go hungry for long. I gave him a quarter of his food. Little did I know, it was already 12, so after I put him in his backpack without his toy, we were almost ready to go. In case he got bored, I gave him one of my hair ties to play with since he loved them. He ran to it as I put on my shoes. Along the restaurant, something caught my eye. Roller coasters. However, it was not the day to go because after lunch, half the day would disappear, and I normally stayed almost the entire day at amusement parks. We got our seats with Kathy and her parents, but she seemed surprised at Bluey. "Is he strange?" "Wow, he's so small, yet smart." She said the truth. What mattered was on the inside. I loathe people who called budgies or parakeets beginner birds because they weren't. Later, we caught up on what has been going on in our lives and received our meals: sushi, the best ravioli, and some rice pudding. I dug into the sushi first, and Bluey stopped talking and played with his string. His body lengthened vertically with his giraffe-like neck, meaning he wanted to eat my food when he had his own food and water. Not back to the cereal again. Fine, I'll let you smell it a little. He didn't seem to be a fan of it, but after seeing it go into my mouth, he wanted it again. "It has sauce on it, so you can't have it, Bluey." I talked with Kathy while the parents talked to each other until we realized that two groups of people had rotated on both sides, on both the table on our left and the one on the right, so we left. Once we arrived back at our hotel, with me running because of the smoke that haunted me, I gave Bluey some millet because I felt bad for him not having the chance to eat human food. He munched on it as I played some games on my phone. Bluey. There were some inaudible noises coming from the outside of the room, but I continued sleeping until Elizabeth woke me up. "Hi, Bubbles! Ping!" Elizabeth took out her phone and went into texting mode along with her followers how amazing I had been. Bluey. There were some inaudible noises coming from the outside of the room, but I continued sleeping until Elizabeth woke me up. "Hi, Bubbles! Ping!" Elizabeth took out her phone and went into texting mode, along with telling her followers how amazing I had been. "No one may think otherwise." Rumble. I needed her to know that my hunger acted up, so I used all the possible correct vocabulary she taught me. "Hungry bird, seeds, treats, good Bluey," I stated. She was hesitant for some reason, but still gave me a little, and it was better than nothing. Later, she put me in my backpack with a lot more food and clean water as we drove off to some unknown place. The tables all welcomed me, but the one that did so the most was the one we actually sat at. A twist to it was that Kathy, Elizabeth's other friend, showed up. How many friends does she have? I played with the string Elizabeth gave me beforehand, but halted when Kathy spoke. "Wow, he's so small yet smart." "Duh." Elizabeth put some food in her mouth, so I inched to the closest spot possible in my restrictive backpack. The kernel-like parts in her food looked so much like seeds, but I didn't have any. "Give them to me." She continued eating, not even looking in my direction. Why bring me here when she's only going to make me jealous? I'd rather just stay at the hotel and talk with Bubbles, who isn't here. I felt a movement after what seemed like an eternity and realized that we were heading back. That wasn't the best part. Elizabeth brought me out to Bubbles in the hotel with the smell still persisting in my nose, gave me half a millet stick.